away we go with some gentle semi-squats. So just gently working knees, thighs and hips as we ease into our activations. And remembering the idea is to breathe deeper, to get the heart going a bit faster, but to do it at your own pace, to ease into it, whatever speed you want, whatever feels right for you this morning. So if you want to speed up, and then from there we can switch our focus to the lower legs with a double heel raise on one side and then a double heel raise on the other. So here we're working the joints in the feet, working the ankles and the calves. That's the focus. And then we can get the upper body involved by taking a wide stance and sweeping one arm round in the big arc, and then exhaling as we push the palm away from us. Inhale and sweep the other arm round, exhale and push. Mindful of using the push from the palm so that we're working the forearm muscles, wrist and the tendons running down to the fingers. We're working the elbow as we push away, we're working the upper arm. We're giving the shoulder a good run as we're making almost a complete circle at the shoulder joint. And we're twisting the spine from side to side, shifting the weight onto one leg and then the other. So a nice exercise this for warming up most of the muscles and joints in the body. And then we can merge into side stretching, just one hand on the hip, stretching all the way down the other side, alternating side to side. And if your neck's in good condition and your balance is okay and you're comfortable looking up from underneath the arm, then you can add that to the movement. You can inhale into the stretch, exhale as you come out of it. And also be mindful that the rapider the breathing, then the more we're inclined to the sympathetic nervous system, the speeding up of the heart rate and the breathing. Just stirring up the nervous system that bit more as well. And then from here, we can go into the anchor, where we anchor one foot in place, we relax the arms and shoulders, and then we step backwards and forwards with the other foot, swinging the arms up and down. And if you're comfortable with the movement, you're quite used to doing the movement, you can focus on your breathing and either inhale as the arms go up, exhale as they come down, or inhale as you step forwards, exhale as you step back, or whatever coordination feels right for you. The other thing to be aware of while you're doing the exercise is the anchored foot and the way that you are lifting the heel as you come forwards and lifting the toes and the ball of the foot as you step back, so you're working the lower leg again. You can swap over now, anchor the other foot in place, and away we go again. Okay, so from here we can go into our cross patterning, and that, remember, involves the brain as well and builds the coordination between the different areas of the brain. And we can do that by just bringing one arm across the center line of the body to tap the outside of the opposite knee. So besides working the brain in this exercise, we're working the core, working the legs, working the arms to a lesser extent. And if we want to make the core work a little bit tougher, we can bring the elbow to the opposite knee. If we want to take it a notch further, we can do a double diagonal. So, like that and that. And 2 more to each side. Okay, so that then takes us to, perhaps first, a chance to just pause, notice the heart rate, notice the breathing. And then go into a bit of stretching. So we can interlink the fingers and bring the palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, and on the exhale, twist and bring your hands down to your right knee. Bring them across to the left knee. Inhale overhead again. And then reverse it, exhaling down to the left side, cross to the right knee, inhale up. And then we repeat that another 5 times from side to side. And as we do, we notice the hamstrings, maybe the glutes, the small of the back, are getting used to the movement. And without having to force anything, we can bring the hands that little bit lower. So if that feels right for you, then certainly extend the size of the circle that you're completing. So 1 more in each direction, so I'm just going to do it a little bit more slowly to make the most out of it. Okay, so then the next one we want to do is still working on the hamstrings and the small of the back. We're taking it a notch further. So we take the right foot out to the right, turn to face the right. If it feels okay with you to lift the toes and the ball of the foot, if it doesn't upset your balance or anything, then do that as well. Inhale up through the crown of the head, and on the exhale, just slide the hands down that leg as far as you want to go. And then hold that pose, being aware of the stretch in the small of the back and the glutes, the hamstring, for 4 or 5 breaths. And then flatten the foot against the floor, bend the knee, and then use the thigh to walk your hands up to a vertical position. Ready to do the same on the other side. So again, maybe coming up on the heel, inhaling up through the crown of the head, and exhaling, sliding the hands down and settling for 4 or 5 breaths. Again, having that mindfulness attitude of being in the present moment by focusing on what your body is feeling. Where is the resistance? Can you relax that area anymore? If it's the back that's feeling a bit stuck, maybe just wiggling the shoulders, or release any tensions and allow you to bring the head a little bit lower. And then flatten the foot against the floor, bend the knee, use the thigh to come up. Ready for our earth sequence, so feet close together, interlink the fingers, inhale the hands up to the chin, turn the palms over and exhale down. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, exhale the hands out to the sides and down. And we can bring in visualization here. Imagine inhaling silver energy up the spine and exhaling it down again. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, and then build a nice silver bubble of immunity and vitality and energy around you. So inhale up, exhale down. Inhale forwards and overhead, exhale building that silver bubble. Last one. And then the next one is similar, but we move the feet a little bit further apart so we can bend the knees and take the palms lower. So inhale up to the chin, turn the palms over, exhale down as low as you want to go. Inhale the palms forwards and overhead, exhale out to the sides and around. Inhaling up, exhaling down, inhaling forwards and overhead, exhale out to the sides and around. Okay, and then we go into the forward bend, so a wider stance. Inhale up to the chin, exhale, bringing the palms down and just leaning forwards. Exhale forwards and overhead, exhale out to the sides and down. So inhale up, exhale forward bend down, inhale forwards and overhead, exhale around, and 2 more. And then we turn the right foot out to the right. Maybe not quite as wide apart with the feet as we were. Interlink the fingers at the low abdomen and then inhale up to the face. Rotate the palms away from us and exhale forwards and up. Inhale coming to the vertical. Exhale the hands out to the sides and down. So inhaling up, exhaling forwards and up. Inhaling to the vertical, exhaling around. And two more, nice and slow and steady, focusing on a continuous flow and ironing out any jagged sort of feelings or pauses. Just looking for it flowing steadily through the different parts of the movement. So that you get that feeling of smoothness. And then the same to the other side. So inhale up, exhale forwards and up, inhale to the vertical, exhale out to the sides and down. Last one. Okay. Then we go into our emotional block release sequence. And that starts with working on our balance and building that communication between brain and lower leg muscles. So ideally we close our eyes for the initial part, and then we just, with the feet close together, lean slightly forwards, just enough to feel the weight shifting to the toes and the balls of the feet. We lean over to the right, feeling the pressure on the toes and the ball of the right foot. We lean back, feeling the weight shift along the edge of the right foot to the right heel. Lean over to the left, feel it on the left heel. Lean forwards and feel the weight shift along the edge of the left foot to the toes and the ball of the left foot. And we come back to complete our first circle. Do another circle in that direction and two circles in the opposite direction. And remember, we're not just toning muscles, joints and tendons. We are building and maintaining that brain-muscle connection. And after our 4 circles, we come back to a central position, looking for balance between front and back and right and left. Okay, so from there, let's go into our tree pose. And we start by focusing on a drishti point to keep our eyes on. We bring the heel, I'm going to use the right heel to the left ankle. Spread the toes of the left foot to get a wider base. And then you can get your hands in place first and then your legs, the way I like to do, the way Anne likes to do, and then I like to just bring the foot up. Doesn't matter how high you do it, just so long as you're working on your balance. I like to get it above the knee. Don't rest it, of course, on the knee. Hands out to the sides, hands at the heart, hands overhead pointed, or palms towards the ceiling. Any of those positions for 4 to 5 breaths. And then we come out nice and gently. Ready to do the same on the other side, heel to ankle, drishti point, spreading the toes, and hands in place first or legs in place first. Avoiding the knee, and then setting ourselves up. And again, coming out nice and gently, ready for our triangle pose. So, in fact, I'm going to do the beach ball in place of the triangle. Come back to the triangle later, because the beach ball is a nice warm up for the triangle. So, palms out to the sides as if you're holding a big beach ball. Inhale, and on the exhale, just rotate. And then inhale back to the center. Exhale to the other side. And inhale back. And twice more to each side. Nice and steady here now. This isn't like the activations. We're just doing a nice, gentle, steady stretch. And you see how we're working the spine laterally there. And then we can go into triangle, which I think is better placed after that movement, because now we can take that lateral stretch a stage further. Left foot out to the left, back of the left hand on the inside of the left thigh. Right hand stretching up towards the ceiling. And if you are comfortable looking up towards the ceiling as well, if you have no neck problems, then you can do that. Inhale, and on the exhale, just dip that left hand as far down as you like, keeping the right shoulder in line with the rest of the body. Don't let it creep forwards. And one more. Okay, and then the same to the other side. So right foot out to the right, back of the right hand against the leg, and then inhale and exhale, sliding the hand down. Inhaling up again, and twice more. Okay, let's come into our vertical stretching. So, hands by the sides. You can come up off your heels for this if you want. Inhale, bringing the hands up. And exhale, bringing them down. And twice more. And then we bring the hands out to the sides, elbows slightly bent, thumbs pointing behind us. And on an inhale, we bring the shoulders back, heart up to the sky. And then we exhale, looking down, rotating the hands right round till the thumbs are pointing behind us again. Pulling the stomach in to exhale completely. So we inhale up. And exhale, looking down, pulling the stomach in. Last one. And then we rotate the arms in opposite directions, looking from one side to the other, maybe stretching the hands as we look towards the upturned palm. So we're working the hands and the wrist, and the forearms, the elbows, the upper arms, the shoulders, and the neck. And then we can relax the shoulders down and do our 3 exercises for the neck. First one being gently turning the head as far as you can to one side and then as far as you can to the other. And then the next one, relaxing one ear down towards its shoulder and maybe adding the weight of the arm. So you're just getting that extra little bit of stretch into the neck muscle there, the trapezius muscle. And not pulling, just allowing the weight of the arm to do that extra little bit of stretching. And then, since this is a stretched muscle, we might want to assist it in bringing the head to an upright position again. And then relax the head to the other side. And again, if you want to, you can add the weight of the arm. Again, you might want to just assist the head back up to the center. Ready for the third neck exercise. And for this one, we stretch the chin up towards the ceiling, stretching the muscles at the front of the neck. We bring the head forward and down, chin onto chest, stretching the muscles at the back. And twice more. And then we place the hands on the small of the back. And we inhale backwards and exhale forwards. Just rocking gently backwards and forwards and checking in with our spine. See how it feels. And we might want to just continue rocking backwards and forwards. Or on this third bend forwards, we might want to continue bending forwards. And then as we start to inhale, bring the knees forwards. Follow with the hips, and then the belly, the chest, and finally we start to exhale again as we bring the chin forwards. So inhale as that wave runs up the spine, exhale as you bring the chin forwards. Inhale, and exhale. And coming into the last one, so the next thing we want to do with the spine is spiral it. We bring the hands up to the shoulders, inhale, and on the exhale, sweep the right hand round to the left shoulder, wrap the left hand around the waist. Inhale to the front, and then exhale, twisting to the right, right hand around the waist, and inhale to the front, and twice more to each side. Okay, and then we can go into the squats. If you don't like squats, it's not your thing, miss it out and get some extra knee hugs in, lying on your back. Otherwise, you can come down with your heels off the mat, or you can have your heels on the mat, coming into garland pose. Just rest there for a moment with your focus on your hip joints, your knee joints, your ankles, and maybe just a little bit of a sway from side to side. Just being aware of what's going on in the hips, the ankles, the knees. And then we can come out of that and just come up off our heels. We have a nice straight back. We have fingertips on the floor. We're looking straight ahead to begin with. And then as we inhale, We straighten the legs and come up into a standing forward fold. And then we exhale, coming down again. And twice more, inhale up and exhale down. Inhale and exhale. And then we can come onto our backs for the last 9. As I say, starting with our knee hugs. So hugging the right knee to the chest for 4 or 5 breaths, and being aware here of the knee joint, the hip joint stretch in the right thigh. And then the same with the left knee, hugging the left knee to the chest for 4 or 5 breaths. So we're aware of how that thigh bone is fitting into the hip joint and being worked in this position. Now we want to work that hip joint in a different angle. So we bring up the right knee while we stretch the left leg out, and we bring the right knee across to the left, and we can either tuck the right foot underneath the left knee, making the Maltese cross, or we can roll over onto the left side, pin the right knee to the mat or to a cushion on the mat, drop the right shoulder back to the mat or to a cushion on the mat, and then maybe also look towards the right. We've got a nice stretch from the knee up to the right shoulder, and we can breathe deeply into that stretched right lung. And then the same on the other side. So either the Maltese cross or the supine spinal twist, or I know some of you like that, cat pulling its tail, so if you want to do that. I just feel that I don't get the same spinal twist in when I'm doing that. I'm getting more of an effect in the legs than in the spine. Okay, and come out of that and go into our third exercise, working on the core. Soles of the feet on the floor, and we can push the small of the back down into the mat as we raise the tailbone, pull in the pelvic floor, hold it tense for a count of 10 while we breathe normally. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raise 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, raise 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And that brings us to our fourth exercise of the 9, where we can either do the spiral or the head to knee. So the spiral, remember, involves lying on your side with your knees drawn up and the arms stretched out in front of you. And then as we inhale, we watch that top thumb rise up to 12 o'clock, and then we exhale as we watch it come down on the other side, bending the elbow if you're short of room. Inhale up again, watching the thumb all the way. Exhale as we close the hands together. And 3 or more times each side. So that's a good spiral for the spine. But if we want to work on the forward bend, then we can go into the, starting off from staff pose, we bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. We stretch up, and then on an exhale, we come forwards as far as we can, and then inhale the hands up again. Exhale forwards, inhale, stretching up, and just slowly rolling through that looping movement, or inhale up, exhale folding forwards, pausing briefly to appreciate the stretch in the hamstring and the small of the back. And then we come on to the left forearm, stretch the right side, and exhale, coming back into the head to knee. And twice more, inhale and stretch, exhale and flex. And on this last one, we hold the flex. And then inhale, straightening the back, stretching up, and the same on the other side. So now bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh, either flowing through the movement or stretching up, exhaling forwards, holding the pose briefly, and then inhaling onto the right forearm, stretching the left side, and exhaling back. And coming out of the third stretch, we hold the pose. And we inhale up, straightening the back, stretching up. And after either a spiral or a forward bend for the spine, we can go into a back bend, and we can do that with the locust. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. We do that with either the Sphinx or the seal or the cobra. So Sphinx, we will come up 3 times into a position where the fingers are widely spread out. The elbows, instead of being directly underneath the shoulders, are level with them, but out of the edge of the mat to give us room to move the spine up and down. And we come up into a position we're looking straight ahead. Sphinx, that's Sphinx, seal, thumbs pointing ahead, straightening the arms and coming into a position where we're looking slightly upwards. Cobra, hands under the shoulders, elbows tucked into the ribs, using the back muscles to initiate the lift, and then when we can't get any higher, then the arms come into play to lift belly button but not hips off the mat, and then we roll the spine down again. So 3 times, inhale up, exhale rolling the spine down. Inhale up, exhale rolling the spine down, turning the head to the side. Inhale up a 3rd time, and exhale, and as you come down, fold your arms and rest your forehead on your forearms in crocodile pose, and this is our opportunity to relax any tensions away from the spine. When we're comfortable with having released tensions from the spine, we can turn our attention to neck and shoulders, and we can enjoy that restorative pose, or we can go into another back bend, the pelvic raise with the soles of the feet on the floor, the knees up in the air, palms are down by the hips, and then we start by lifting the tailbone off, peeling it up off the mat, and then rolling the spine back down again from the neck. Tailbone last to come back in touch with the mat. And twice more, inhale up, and exhale, rolling it down. Inhale, and exhale. Okay, so from there then we can go into an exercise that is really good for building strength and strong muscles around the spine, and we can focus on the lower part of the body, the lower spine, with the mini locust, where we tuck the toes underneath, push the heels away so that the knees come up off the mat, and then we are aware of the muscles tensing from the hips, from above the hips, right down to the heels. The other alternatives are stretching all limbs out, and then inhaling, raising right arm, left leg and head, and then left arm, right leg and head, or all four limbs and head, or we can come up into tabletop and then stretch out the right leg and the left arm and look straight ahead if we want to strengthen those muscles at the back of the neck, or we can keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. If you're more interested in getting that flow of energy along the spine, don't let the head drop down though. If you're going to keep the neck in line, do keep it in line for 4 or 5 breaths. And then swapping over for the same on the other side, left leg and right arm stretched out. This is our tiger pose. And then we can come out of that. And we can go into cat-cow or thread the needle. So cat-cow, exhale, arching your back. And then as we inhale, we drop the belly towards the mat. Nice slow movement this. Come up looking straight ahead. And then exhaling, pulling the stomach in and arching the back again. And just alternating between those two positions. Or lying on our backs, we can raise the knees up, soles of the feet on the floor, bring the right ankle above the left knee, and then gently push the right knee away a few times, feeling that on the knee joint and the hip joint. And then if everything's okay, we take the right hand underneath the right calf and pull the left knee to us for 4 or 5 breaths, while we're focusing on hip joint, right knee, or maybe the outside of the right thigh is where you're feeling it. And then coming out of that, left knee above the right knee, pushing the left knee away a few times. Yes, that feels okay. So left hand comes underneath the left calf and pulls the right knee to us with both hands. and then from there we can come out of that and into our last restorative pose. So for that we kneel up in tabletop and then just sink back onto the heels and stretch out the arms if you like going into extended child, or if you prefer child pose, hands down by the feet and just letting the shoulders go. Remember, you can always place a cushion under your forehead or a yoga block, a few books. And then we can come onto our backs, coming into corpse pose for our final relaxation. So just making sure that we're comfortable. If your room is cold, you might want to throw a blanket over you. You might want to put a cushion under your head, but I like to do without that so that I've got the straight spine. And then just letting the shoulders flop back, palms up towards the ceiling, feet falling out to the side. You can, of course, always have your legs up against the wall if you want to do that. We focus briefly on the breath. And then focus on the soles of the feet. Just be aware of any tingling or glowing in the soles of the feet. And you can feel that that's becoming aware of your prana or your chi. And maybe imagining that glow as a golden glow in the feet, a glow of health and relaxation. And you can imagine that golden glow spreading up into your ankles and calves, into your knees and thighs, into your hips, your abdomen and lower back, your chest and heart and lungs and upper back, shoulder blades, feel a golden stream of vitality rolling down from your shoulders, through your elbows, forearms, wrists, lighting up your hands. Just imagine your hands bright and glowing with energy, tingling with a golden glow of energy. And then come back to the neck and the jaw, relaxing the jaw, relaxing the cheek muscles. The muscles around the eyes, just letting the eyes sink back into their sockets. becoming aware of the forehead and relaxing any tensions in the forehead. And again, looking for any tingle of glow or energy around that central spot, just between and above the gap between the eyebrows. Behind that spot, the center of the head where the pineal gland is glowing, and the pituitary gland. Finally, relaxing the scalp and the crown of the head. Letting the whole body feel heavy for a few more moments of deep relaxation. When you are ready, come out gently. Remember, opening your eyes slowly. Maybe wiggling fingers and toes and stretching. Briefly rolling over onto your right side for a few more breaths. And then using your left hand to push yourself up into a sitting position. Ready to enjoy the rest of your day. So thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day and namaste.